Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Shanda Wright, and I am a master success coach here at She's Creating an Empire, and that's my coach, Melanie Greeno. I am so grateful for her coaching, for her energy, for her investment in her own skill set that she's paid forward to me and many others. And you're going to get to hear a ton of these ladies today. I'm really excited. The title of today's event is Unveiling Her Story, because I really feel like this journey is not so much about becoming anything. It's about unbecoming everything we aren't, so we can just unveil and become who we were meant to be in the first place, right? And, when it comes to becoming a coach, a lot of people have questions or they aren't sure about the woman behind the story, right? We see the information they put out, but we're going to get behind the curtains today. So I want to know if you're watching live, put a 1 in the comments. If you're watching the replay, put a 2. I am so excited that you're here, whether you're live or on the replay. I know there's a lot of people who are busy working and they catch us afterwards. So, or busy with babies or whatever the situation is, right? All right, welcome. I'm so glad you're live. Awesome. Good to see you. Okay. So those of you who don't know me, I want to give you a bit of my story and why this topic is so a big part of my heart. Okay. So prior to finding She's Creating an Empire, hello. Good to see you. So before joining She's Creating an Empire and finding Melanie Greeno, I was hungry for more. I was bored and exhausted. I was working like 80 plus hours a week, and I saw my timeline. Like I was like, I can't do this for 40 more years. This is a lot. And then my main job, it became very corporate, and I started to feel like a number instead of like it was a part of a family grown business. And it's not that it wasn't a good job. I had good benefits and I had, good vacation time, and it was all in all quite good. But good, I really feel like, can be the enemy of great, or the enemy of creativity, or the thing that keeps us from going after what our heart really wants. And so that was my story. I didn't know what I wanted. I just knew that what I was doing, I couldn't maintain for another 40 more years. I was like, I want a refund on adulting. Like, this is a lot of work. All I would do would have chores and go to work and then have more chores and maybe sleep a little. Like, it felt like crazy, and need to squeak in some family time here and there, right? Hopefully get to the gym. It was wild. And I couldn't believe how much I was working to not have any money at the end of the month. I was like, after groceries and gas, it's not like I had a Lamborghini, but the hot water tank breaks, or the car needs new tires or something like that. It seemed like, and then the cost of living kept going up. And I wanted more than just enough. I wanted more than a bunch of stuff to do. I wanted more than just enough money. But I didn't really know how to get there. And so it's actually funny, because a friend of mine introduced me to Melanie Greeno, and what I saw was a woman who had something very uncommon. She had a life that was really different than everything that I had seen. Everyone that I saw that was successful was either born into a family that was like one of the families in my hometown, or they had built a very big business, and she actually had a lot more freedom than them. She had much better relationships. She's like passionately in love with the man of her dreams. And, she's got this amazing connection with her daughters, and she's, traveling the world she went to Thailand, y'all, for a month or for a week, and stayed for 3 months. I was like, I want to do that. That sounds like fun to me. Have you guys ever been on vacation and just been like, I don't want to go home? Well, she just actually extends. And now I have a joke. I'm like, I anytime she goes somewhere, I take bets on what day she'll actually come home, because it's never the day she originally says. So it was really, yeah, for real, right? It was like this really cool inspiration, but you don't know what you don't know. And so I started following her. And I started learning just out of this desire to retire early and to not have financial pressure. And what I found was there was a lot more on the other side. I was able to pay off over $1 million in debt. I was able to quit all 3 of my jobs. Now I work full-time traveling the world, and it's been really liberating. I've found my personality. I was a very timid version of what I really was, because, when you're working at a job, sometimes you got to kind of fit a box. And I didn't have the chance for self-expression. I was too busy. I was too busy to be creative. I was too busy to be silly. I was too busy to have fun. And I really find that there's a lot of women out there who are overworked and underpaid, and they are not having nearly enough fun or passion or pleasure or play in their life. And so the coaching side of the world is very interesting for me because it's this concept of learning from people who have what you want, who have results, right? And as I've gone down these paths, I've gotten a lot of coaching from a lot of different people. And the reason that Melanie Greeno has become my absolute coach, like this is the woman that she's the one that is my filter for everything. It's so crazy because I've had a chance to, go to all these different seminars all over the place. And she's the one that kept the main thing. She's like, what does your heart want? What do you want? What does that look like at the other side of this? And so she has this framework for keeping it about genuine self-expression, about this really personal experience, because unlike a lot of things that I've seen out there, there's no one size fits all as far as she's concerned. She's like, your identity, your truth, your desires are for you. So let's tap into that and then unleash the greatness. And I'm like, that's so different. I thought there was some sort of performance standard or I had to go here and do this. Truth was that I needed to get connected to who I was. And so she has this framework for helping people get connected to their truth, to their divinity, to their power, to their financial abundance, to their playfulness, and to reparent themselves and then step into all that they want. And then actually develop the skill sets to get it. It's this really cool dynamic that's changed my life, obviously, and it's changed the life of many other women who you're going to hear from today. And so what I want to do is I want to bring up a couple of ladies and have them tell you their story, because now you kind of know my story and you know what Melanie's done, and then I'll come back at the end and I'll give you a bit of a picture for what's coming up in the next 30, 60, 90 days, as well as the next 12 and 24 months, because there's some cool stuff happening that I can't wait to tell you about. So I'm going to bring up very first Regina Journey. I'm getting her name right this time. I'm so proud of myself. It's like practicing. This woman is such a gem. Her and I have actually grown alongside each other. We've both been clients of Melanie's for years and years and years. I've watched her go from working in her family business to stepping into a career that is completely self-expressed. She is gone to as a leader in her field. She's built a dynamic brand. She's a realtor in Arizona who's growing her team. And she's literally like being featured and renowned in her entire community. And so watching her build her brand, watching her build her confidence, her team, her skill set has been such a treat. And so I want you to hear direct from her where she was before she's creating an empire, where she is now, and then why she decided to become a success coach with us.
Thank you so much, Shanda. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Shanda? Okay, first of all, I just want to thank Shanda for having me on here. It's a privilege to be on here with her. Shanda and me do go back way far, and her being my friend, her being somebody who truly really wants me to succeed, really helped me to get where I'm at. Not just Melanie, but her as well. So I'm so indebted to her. I love her. I love her heart. So again, Shanda, thank you so very much for having me on here. So thank you for being here. My name is Regina Journey. I live in beautiful Tucson, Arizona. And prior to me joining She's Creating an Empire, I was stressed. I had a poor mindset. I felt terrible. I was getting to that middle age of the 40ish where things start changing, and I just didn't feel good. For 2 years, I thought I was having a heart attack at the end of the year. It was horrible. I felt stressed because there was more month at the end of my money. Who can agree? Put one below if you feel that way. And I was in debt. I was in severe debt. I didn't wake up feeling happy. I was a real estate agent, but I wasn't moving. I felt stuck. How many of you feel stuck, right? Since I've joined and done everything Melanie has told me to do, since I've gotten around these amazing women that you're going to hear from right now, it's like rubbing shoulders, iron to iron, it sharpens. I have completely changed my whole trajectory of where I'm going. I no longer have a poor mindset. I have a positive mindset. I stopped watching TV, news, and everything for 2 years, and I'm telling you, this is the most important thing. If you can't change this, nothing changes. I feel terrific. I'm walking. I'm enjoying life. I'm actually seeing things differently than I did before. I'm no longer stressed, but I feel successful. I'm growing my team for real estate. My team is expanding all over Arizona, and I'm able to sell houses now all over Arizona, which is exciting. And I paid off a lot of debt. You guys, I can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you that if you look at all these success coaches right now, they're going to talk to you and where they come from, where they're at, it's leaps and bounds different. Some are barely starting, some have done significant things, but it's all up to you. You are worthy of so much more. You're worthy to do so much better for your life and for you and for your family. And I'm going to leave you with this. That's why I decided to become a coach. That's why I decided to join the arms of these amazing women and help women like you who don't know where they're going to go, who don't know what to do. And it gets me teary because I was where you were at. I was going to leave real estate. I didn't know what I wanted until I got around great minds who said, Gina, you can do whatever you want to do and do it. And if you don't, who's going to do it for you? Number one. And number two, if not now, then when? So I leave with you with that. You guys are in great hands with all of us here. Any one of us could help you do amazing things, but we're so excited that you're going to come with us and change your life. It's amazing. So thank you, Shanda. I appreciate you and all of you. Thank you so much.
Oh, I love it. Let's get some 5s in the chat for Regina. Thank you so much. It really is crazy when you realize like how much better it can get and how much you want that for other people. I know it's like getting teary-eyed is pretty normal around these parts, and it's all out of joy and gratitude, right? Which is a very cool reason to have tears in your eyes. So yeah, some 5s in the chat for Regina. And you know, what's really cool is I've really watched her take what she's learned in She's Creating an Empire to help her team. So it's not just about helping her, but like watching her team grow. She's literally got a brand new agent who just got started on her team, who's now like being invited to speak and getting lead gens, and like all of these developers and people are because of the branding stuff that she's been able to coach her with. So it's really special, and I'm so glad that you're here. And so the next person that I want to bring up is actually Kyla. I know that we were having a mic issue, but Kyla Colt, this woman, okay, is... The moment we met, it was like a sister, like the very first time. And she was used to being looked over at her career and skipped past and not recognized for the amount that she poured into it. And then she said, wait a second, if it's going to be, it's up to me, and no one else is going to take care of me, and I'm ready to create something really, really, really special. And, you know, that was a lot of my story. I kind of felt like a number, right? As opposed to, that's not, I was pouring my heart into the job, but at some point that's what happens. And so there was this really genuine, like, shared experience there. And watching her over the last few months, this woman has broken out her sass. I didn't even know that was in there. This girl is silly and playful and, you know, explorative and a lot of fun. And so it's been such a pleasure to be able to meet you, Kyla. I swear, some of my relationships that I meet here at She's Creating an Empire are actually the biggest gifts. You know, the money and the time freedom is pretty cool, but the people are really special. So I know, isn't it funny, Carly? Yours too. So what I would love is if you would let these ladies know where you were prior to She's Creating an Empire, where you are now, like what's changed for you, and then also why you decided to become a success coach.
Okay. Well, you pretty much listed all my priors, all of those things, you know, stuck in beige cubicle land thinking, you know, I've got the good pension. I can't leave this because this is my retirement. This is what I need to live off of. Even though I've only got 3 years in, I just turned 49 yesterday, you know, so looking at 49 and 3 years in a pension, I guess I need to stay here and suck it up and be trampled on for the rest of my life because I need this security. And so since then, leaps and bounds. I didn't know I had that sass in me either, or I was afraid to let it show. I actually met in Panama, met these ladies, and one of them turned to me and said, "Hey, you know, you're so much fun." And I said, "Wow, no one's ever told me that before." And she looks at me and she goes, "Well, you've been hanging around the wrong people." And I'm like, yes, I have been, because since meeting this this group of ladies, the friendships I've gained in just a few weeks have been more than I've gained in probably 15 years. And yes, they're mostly over the internet, but I mean, that doesn't matter anymore, right? Everybody connects. I got to have 2 of the wonderful ladies at my birthday party last night, And because of all of that, I decided to become a success coach, because it always had always been a desire of mine to mentor people, mostly in weight loss, but now in other areas as well. And so, I want women to learn in their 20s and 30s what I'm learning closer to 50, so that they can have a more amazing life earlier and get started earlier, because it's amazing. And yeah, it's just been, I'm not even 90 days in yet, and the change is incredible. So I think I covered pretty much everything, but yeah, just the freedom to know that you can walk away from beige cubicle land and you'll be okay. You'll be better off. Right now I'm working on a construction site, but that's not my forever. It's my now. And yeah, it's all uphill.
I totally agree. I'm so excited for what's ahead, Kyla. Your story is, like I said, it hits home, and I'm with you. Like, I don't want people to spend these decades of their life trading all of their energy for something that doesn't end up being worth it, right? Like, I'm okay with hard, just be worth it. And when you can authentically be yourself, then people can authentically love. And so when we can create a safe space to grow and play and learn and be, then we can actually find our genuine connections. And I feel like I've had the same thing with you. I know that we've been able to spend a weekend together. We're going to spend a lot more time together this summer. But for real, it's really cool to see how quick it can happen when people are given a space, the support, the permission, and then the framework. And one of the things that I love that you said was that you've always had this passion to coach women on weight loss. And I don't know if this is in your heart. If you're listening to this and you're like, I've always had a passion to coach women, but here's the thing that I hear a lot is women are afraid to step out. They call it imposter syndrome. But what happens is they're like, well, how do I know that I can be different enough in the marketplace? Or how do I know that I can actually get results for people? Like at scale, right? Like, how do I know that what I'm going to do? And that's what becoming a success coach does, is we give you the framework to help people do the things that they need to do to see success. So, it's pretty, weight loss is actually very simple. Eat vegetables and move your body. But like, how many of us still really like the cake? Like, it's really good, So those experiences, and then of course, as your body changes, then there's the whole reflection on that experience too, whether that's through pregnancy or it's through just generally aging. As a woman, I'm not the same as I was at 20. And so when you're dealing with fitness coaching, when you're dealing with weight loss coaching, when you're dealing with women who have body images, because that's different than the actual body, having a framework that allows them to embrace their greatness and actually keep promises to themselves and stick and stay and get their pay in their area of goals. That's our heart with the framework that our success coaches get. And so I'm really excited, not just for you, because obviously I want to do all the things with you. I'm so glad that we get to do more life together, but I'm also really excited for your clients, for the people that you're called to serve, because they're going to have such a more impactful experience because you decided to take your coaching role seriously. So,
and like Melanie says, I said yes to myself, and things blossomed as soon as I said yes to myself. The floodgates opened.
Isn't it crazy how that happens? It's like,
yeah.
Just wild. Well, I am so grateful for you. Thank you for being here. And now, actually, one of the ladies who was at your birthday party, I'm going to bring up Susan Dawson. Susan Dawson's one of my day ones, which I think is a very special experience for those of you who have ever embarked on something where you get to grow and you get to change and you get to, let me see, there we go. I think my internet froze a little bit. It does that sometimes. Joys of travel. But as you grow, you change. And that's the point, right? We're supposed to grow and change. A seed doesn't stay a seed. It changes into a sprout, and then it changes into a plant, and then it changes into a flower. And as we grow, we're meant to evolve. And some people don't always love the new version of you, or don't decide to come on a similar growth journey or path. And so as I've chosen me, and as I stopped fitting in, but started, Brene Brown says that the opposite of fitting in is belonging, or the opposite. Yeah. And so this concept of like molding ourselves to fit somewhere is the exact opposite of being completely accepted for who we are. And when I was performing for the world, instead of listening to my heart, that's when I met Sue. And then I started listening to my heart, and she started loving me even more. She started embracing my crazy even more. She started cheering me on even more. And so having someone who's like, from the beginning, watched you grow and been like, okay, giddy up, let's go. It has been incredible. And obviously there's seasons where we've spent more time together and seasons where we've spent less. But what I can say that I admire most about Sue, besides the loyalty and the dedication and the unconditional, like real, true, authentic love, is the fact that she has been such a role model for her children. You know, her son and her daughter over the years have had, you know, they've been closer and they've been further. And what she's done is she stood in love. She stood for her values. She's chosen to invest in herself. And in that same sense, her children were able to find their sense of self, their sense of strength, their sense of love for themselves as well as for her. And now she's got the best relationships with them she's ever had, and the best relationship she's ever had with herself. Like, it's the coolest thing I've ever seen. I see moms all the time that lose themselves, again, performing to be who they think they have to be in that role. Whereas Sue has chosen Sue, and that's allowed her children to choose them. And together there's now this beautiful family unit that is so incredible. And I look forward to having adult children relationships like you have with yours. And so Sue, thank you for being here. Thank you for being an example of a mom and a coach. Sue's in the fitness industry. She loves to make people do lots of moving. It's she's a little twisted like that. And, you know, when it came to she's creating an empire, originally she came for her. And so I really want to hear, Sue, first of all, you know, the prior to and since, where she's creating an empire, because again, you came to receive, but then once you received, you're like, I need to take this framework into my fitness space, into my 50 plus, you know, year old women that I'm called to help make sure they can get down to the ground and pick up their grandbabies long into their 80s. Like, I want to help them see success physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And so you chose to step into this success coaching role and, you know, create an impact with us. And so I want to hear a little bit about your story, what you received, and then why you chose to pay it forward with our framework and our coaching.
Oh, thank you, Shanda. Oh, I love you. It has been such a journey watching you. Holy cow. Watching you grow over the time that we've known each other. You go, girl. I mean, you've always been a mentor to me, and I've always said I wanted to be like you when I grow up. And I've just realized I'm never going to grow up, but I still want to be like you. So you have literally transformed, and I just absolutely love you. Again, prior to being with She's Creating an Empire, I was pretty lost. I was seeking validation from men. I was trading time for money. I just was not happy. And I was drowning in debt. And once I have been shown She's Creating an Empire, I no longer seek validation from men. I truly, truly love who I have become. And I just love being single. And again, showing my adult children that as well has been very, very important. I have paid off $400,000 in debt. I have 3 streams of income that are coming in. I just love my life right now. And becoming a success coach is really important to me, as being almost 55 years old. I have recreated myself, and I want other women to know that that is so possible. You can go after your dreams. It doesn't matter what age you are. It is so important to step into that role. And again, show your kids that anything is achievable, especially with this amazing community of women that help guide you and support you and love you to death. It's just been an amazing ride, and it's not over yet. It still can be scary. Again, at my age, recreating myself. But again, I want to show other women that it can be done. And there is that support here in this community to be able to rise and hit those levels that you never thought possible before. So again, very grateful to be here. And it was the best decision I've ever made, to be able to be here and coach other women to find their own potential.
I love it. I love it. And it's so cool, because I know getting people to show up for themselves, like, I think about the physical personal training stuff that you do, like getting people to see themselves as an investment, and that their health is actually a priority, especially before injury, before ailment, before aging. Like, that's a whole thing. And so having a framework for that, it's like, done. I'm so excited for the ripple effect.
It is. Thank you. Yeah, my son always comments that, Mom, you're the strongest woman I know. And it just fills my heart to hear him say that. And I just want to pass that on to other women, that they can be this strong.
She's literally bringing her children to the next retreat that we're doing. And it's funny because her son added me on Facebook, and he's like, will you tell me what's going on at this thing that my mom's making me go to? Like, she hasn't told me anything. I was like, it's leadership development. He's like, okay, because all I know is what I've seen in her, and I'm excited, but like, what is happening? It's so good. So, again, the ripple effect is really my favorite part. So thank you, Sue, for being here and for being an amazing mom and an amazing personal trainer and an amazing coach. So speaking of amazing moms, I want to bring up Davida. Davida owns a massage therapy clinic in the US. The state, I want to get the state right. I mixed them up because I've never been to most of them. So tell me the right state again. I know you tell me this all the time.
Indiana.
See, I was going to say Kentucky. I was wrong. In Indiana, and we've had this conversation 10 times. I'll remember this time. So she's in Indiana. I'll have to come visit, so it's easy to remember. And she's built this amazing business, and she built this amazing life, and she has one in particular. I've met her son, who's just graduated high school, and she chose that this next chapter of her life was going to be one that was fully self-expressed, filled with joy, filled with her, filled with all of her desires. And so her and her son are now starting a business together. They came to a business retreat here in Panama that we had a few weeks back. She's decided to become a success coach, and just watching her, like, she doesn't even look like the same person, you guys. It's amazing what can happen in just a couple of months. She dresses different. Her smile's bigger. Like, there's a sparkle in her eyes that I had never seen. And even her friends and family started talking about it. Like, people she works with are like, what is in your water? It's so good. So Davida, thank you for being here. Thank you for, again, being an example of what an amazing mom looks like. Tell everyone, first of all, what you were looking for when you found She's Creating an Empire, and, what you have received from us, but then why you chose to join us on this next chapter in this next space as we move forward towards equipping people with this success coaching model.
Okay, so Sue is kind of my soul sister in looking for validation from men. If any of you have read any of my posts that I've put on She's Creating an Empire, I am going through this journey where I'm realizing what people-pleasing attributes that I had and why I was doing it and what's been going on. And now being at the age of 51, discovering that I need to do for me, and it's not selfish to do that. As Shanda said, I've built a successful 5-star massage business in Indiana. I have gone through other coaching programs and kind of peeled back the personality of who I am and what I want to become. Coming into creating She's an Empire, I knew I needed to form more streams of income. I knew I needed to have a good entrepreneur female support system to keep me motivated and keep me going in doing what needed to be done. And I also needed to be able to show my youngest son, who just graduated from high school, it's okay. You do not have to go to college. You do not have to go to a trade school. You can learn skills that you can use to have a business and run a business and be successful and create what it is and the life that you want for yourself. So becoming a success coach for me is wanting to share that with as many other people as I possibly can. I am obviously a caregiver by trade and what I love to do. And I love helping non-for-profits. So becoming a success coach is not only going to promote what I do and what I love and being able to help others, but it's also going to bring so many more other people into this realm and support system and community that we can all work together and continue to support each other and just change the world.
Make it better.
That's right.
Yes, I love that. Thank you so much, Davida. I actually would love if each and every one of you would throw some tens in the chat for Davida. I think it's really exciting the way that you are like being so deliberate about what it is that you want to be a part of, what it is that you want to create, and that you're getting so much from our community. It's amazing what can happen in like less than 6 months we've been working together. It really is special. So thank you again, Davida, for being here. I'm excited to see you again in August. And really, you guys, there's a lot of people who think that because they have a trade, because they have a business, because they've been in HR or massage or, hairdressing for their whole life, that means that it's the only place that they can create excellence or a high level of income. And what I love is seeing people who say, I'm ready to be a beginner. I'm ready to learn again. I'm ready to start at the beginning and start this time from experience. And that's what Davida's done. It would be very easy for her to just coast on her existing business, but she has a bigger calling than that. She wants to make a difference, not just in people's bodies. Trust me, if you've had a good massage, you'll know it can be life-changing, but like on a massive scale. She's like, I want to reach more people than I can physically touch. And I just think that's so admirable. So thank you again, Davida, for doing this. This is such a fun season. I'm so glad I get a front row seat. And I would love to see some 8s for infinity for Kyla and Sue. I am so grateful that those ladies, I forgot to get you guys to give them a shout out in the chat. 2 absolutely dynamic women who continue to grow every single day. Yes, absolutely. All right. Well, now I'm going to bring up my girl, Lisa. Speaking of traditional business owners, this woman is a boss at business. And you can literally see behind her, she's in her traditional office right now. She runs a print company and she does everything with excellence and sass and fun. Like this, she's so much fun, this lady. And she has this gift for coaching people. She walks in. So I meet her in person for the first time at the retreat, and she literally just can see. Have you ever been there where you can see someone who's learning something you've learned before or is going through something that you've been through before? You have wisdom you want to share. And, for Lisa, she has that gift of wisdom and she has this gift of experience and love for others. And so when she decided to step into becoming a success coach, it's like, now you've got a framework to take it to the masses. Now we've got a way, although she's keeping her business and she's continuing to grow it, she's got big, huge goals. Why not diversify? Why not have fun? Why not have something else and have it be playing on your gifts as well? And so I'm really glad you're here. I'm so grateful you're a part of my life because you make me smile every day that we chat. And I would love for you to tell these women, personally what you've received from She's Creating an Empire, but also why you are a part of our mission. Why do you want to help us impact 1 billion lives by 2033?
Well, first of all, I'm going to apologize. I have a dog under my desk.
If I could have a dog under my desk, I would. That is absolutely bold.
She's growling every time she hears the door. So I apologize. Shanda, thank you. Thank you for having me here today. You're right. We finally met in person in Panama, but I started following you before that because I was like, man, I wished that I could have been as strong a woman as you are at your age, because I didn't have that. And you have spent time with me, which I 100% appreciate. I think we had a mini breakthrough like 2 weeks ago. You and I were chatting and you said something to me and I went, wow, the rush of air was unbelievable as you broke open another piece of me. So I'm truly thankful that Melanie introduced us. Melanie and I've been friends for a long time, and I finally reached out to her a couple of years ago, and I said, I need help. What does that mean? Well, for one, Melanie Greeno is amazing, and because she knew me, she knew my heart. But what she did is she helped me lead my heart out because one, I couldn't stay focused. Having a brick and mortar, it's pretty hard actually. And especially when things were shut down and I didn't know where the next dollar figure was going to come from. And my husband had, a mini stroke during that time. And they were, of course, very, very supportive as they always are. But I just couldn't get the focus. It was like I was walking in a fog and I couldn't get the focus. I started to have disbelief in who I am. I also, my journey has been crazy. I mean, we don't even have enough time today to talk about everything that I've gone through since the age of 3. I mean, that would be just crazy to talk about that. But I think the biggest thing for me is that I realized that I have gifts. So when I was young, I knew I was different. I was treated differently, and it was extremely lonely. And I felt, a lot of loneliness for a long time until, I met my husband, and I have an amazing family. So that's wonderful. But my focus was huge. So the first thing, what did Melanie and I do? We actually got me on my calendar. Am I great at filling out my calendar? No, not 100%, but it started to give me time to figure out, where was my time being spent? What was I doing wrong? Why did I not feel like I was truly 100% accomplishing anything? And then we talked about who I am. Well, who I am is I am a healer. So when you talk about having knowledge, it's not always my knowledge, it's the knowledge gifted to me, and that helping people heal themselves. I don't heal you. I help you find your own space. I give you space to heal yourself. I also financially, it was kind of nuts. So, Financial Fitness Academy. One more thing Melanie offers to everybody, you and Shanda, coaching, mentoring people on how to get rid of debt. Well, I started nailing out the debt. Women don't feel like they have the ability to ask for money. And I've talked about this before. If you've seen us before here on She's Creating an Empire, Melanie and Shanda were in a coaching, and Melanie just literally said, women aren't designed to, we're told not to ask for money. So, I pull up my accounts receivable and I look at how many people owe me money. And I went, you're right. I am not asking for what I'm worth. So that was another thing that I hit. I broke through that wall. Asked for the money, had the money within the next, 48 to 72 hours. People were like, oh yeah, sorry about that. And, just handing me the money because I found the ability to ask for what I deserved for trading what I was doing for other people. So that was kind of crazy. But when it comes right down to it, so that's what She's Creating an Empire has slowly, it's breaking down all these blockades that you have, all these blockades that we've been set in our life, all these blocks that aren't necessarily something that we've given ourselves, but it's what we've learned. Not something necessarily we've given ourselves, but it's what we've learned. Now, was it wrong? Were the people that taught us these things actually wrong? No, they just had been taught the same thing. So going forward, we keep doing the same thing over and over again. Well, I'll tell you one thing that I do know about myself is when I was 25, I remember saying to my family, I just want to break the chains. I had no idea what that meant. But looking back now and looking where we're coming today and why She's Creating an Empire is so important to people, I already knew I had to break something from the past to move forward and be better, be exactly who I wanted to be. What did that look like? I didn't know. I had no idea what that was going to look like. But what I do know without a doubt is that I want to be a success coach. I am a success coach, working on it, not 100% there yet. But I know it because I look back and I look at people like Shanda who are mentoring, all of us. Oh my gosh, I guess I'm 54 years old, but I'm still moving forward and I intend to move forward. But I have 2 teenage children along with my amazing husband, and I want to be an amazing role model for them. One of my biggest goals is that my husband isn't traveling all over the world anymore and he's going to be home with us. So how do I do that? Well, She's Creating an Empire turned around and said, well, you need more. So what have you taught me? Oh my gosh, you taught me online business. That's been huge for me. I am so grateful. It's unbelievable. This is going to sound like a crazy one, but Instagram. Do we remember me in Panama, everyone, on Instagram going, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Ridiculous. But, that's part of the coaching too, is how do you make your online presence? And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. that's been huge for me too. So I want to teach other women, men too, doesn't really matter to me. I want to teach them that you can be heard, that you are absolutely an amazing human being. Who do you want to be? Let's dig down. Let's figure out what that looks like. What do you need to do? Is it financial? Is it, your family even? Do we need help with you and your family figuring out where we're at? It's all of it. And I'm here. And like you said, I'm kind of sassy. I'm actually an introvert. I know you can't tell right now. I truly am an introvert, but this has brought me out of my shell because I want to share. I want to change lives. I want to make people, be grateful for who they are every day. I want them to wake up in the morning, know what their purpose is, and realize that they have so much to give the rest of the world. So I think that about covers it.
Yes, it's so beautiful. I could not have said it better myself. I think there's a couple of things that you said there that were really, that I actually really wanted to get to. So I'm really glad that you brought them up. What we do as a success coach, we equip our success coaches with a framework to learn how to create breakthrough and genuine self-expression and results in 4 different pillars. And she nailed it. I love that. This is how you know you deliver on your pillars, is when without prompting, your clients, your team members can recite them. So what are they? Time, money, mindset, and marketing. So we're helping people take control over these pieces. The mind committee, how we talk to ourselves, what we do when we have a feeling, how that triggers our mind. When it comes to our time, how we manage it, it's the one thing that everybody has in common. Some people seem to get everything done and other people are spinning their wheels year after year. Money is energy. So learning how to attract more, learning how to move it, learning how to decide what to put it towards, really mastering your money and making it your slave instead of going to work for it. Right? And then the same thing comes with marketing, understanding how to communicate your message, whether you're building a business online or you're just building a brand. Some people say, I don't need to build a brand because I'm not building a business. I would say that your online presence is your resume. It's your backup plan and your plan B when it comes to getting a job. If you are in an employment situation, I would say that it sets your children up to have better networking opportunities. I would say that if you're doing a fundraiser, you can actually raise more money. I remember it was about a year and a half ago. I have a charity that I personally donate to that is an orphanage in the Congo, and they wanted to start a widow women's business program where for like $100 a year you could sponsor a woman, or it was maybe $500 a year, whatever it was. They had these 40 women that were ready to learn English, to learn how to read, to learn how to start a business, and then get a microloan. And I made 2 posts on social media and had every single one of those women sponsored. So it doesn't matter what you end up using your social media platform for. In my opinion, it's attracted my best friends, my favorite people in the world I met through social media. It's crazy, but it's because I'm showing up as my authentic self. They're doing the same thing. We make a genuine connection. It's a really beautiful thing. And then also, of course, you get to reconnect with old friends. I know Rita's on here. Like, we go way back. It's so cool. And so what I can tell you is that marketing is actually one of my more passionate subjects in terms of the pillars. I'm really a big fan of marketing and money. And Mel likes time and mindset. She's great at all of it. And, obviously I've been coached by her for years. So yes, Lisa, that's the thing. When you start to have breakthrough and control and abundance in all of those areas, of course, paying it forward is just like, not everyone does, obviously, but at the same time, like, it's pretty cool that Mel's now taking us on and certifying us as success coaches. So thank you, Lisa, for your time. Let's get some 3s in the chat for Lisa. I'm so glad that you volunteered to be with us here today. Take time from your busy business. And now I want to bring up Christine. And I got to tell you, it's really awesome to have you here, because Christine's been around our community for 2 years, but she's just hit a major milestone. She's become completely debt-free in the last 30 days. So let's get debt-free in the chat to celebrate with Christine. What you celebrate, you accelerate. And it's so amazing. We had the best conversation the other day about what is money for? What is money for? What do we do with it, right? Do we squander it? Do we not pay attention to it? Do we use it to create? And if using it to create means something, what defines return on investment? Is it the dollars grow themselves? Does it create an experience that adds value? Does it help you or others or your money grow? What's a good investment? And this beautiful conversation about money came from her moving diligently forward and literally following directions and becoming debt-free and creating this reality. And it's funny because there's no way, Christine, that every moment felt quick. Because I know it's only been 2 years and it feels like yesterday, but also like for sure 2022, there's got to have been a moment where you're like, this has to go faster. So it's like this really fun moment when people hit milestones to celebrate. Yes, thank you for celebrating with her. I'm so glad, and I'm so glad you're here. So, I mean, in a nutshell, tell us what you personally received from She's Creating an Empire, and tell us what coaching women about stepping into this new season of success coaching, what it means to you to be a part of that, and what it looks like. And I want to have this conversation, and you're going to laugh. It costs money to become a success coach. You have to get certified. And for someone who's been paying off debt, for someone who's been investing in herself, for someone who's quite frankly further ahead than a lot of the women on here financially, when you look at becoming a success coach, tell us how you quantify the ROI. What makes investing in that certification in this community, in that next step, a good investment?
Thank you so much, Shanda. I just want to say thank you to everyone. It's an honor to be sharing my story, and I'm not one to really share because I feel very shy when it comes to speaking and showing myself. But the one thing I wanted to share was being part of She's Creating an Empire has actually opened up my eyes to see life in a different way. I've always wanted an online business. I was working from home, but I had no plan. I had no real vision of what I wanted and what it was going to look like to be able to make money online. And being part of the community since 2021, I've been able to learn how to create 3 different income streams right now. I learned how to do e-commerce, trading, and right now I'm actually learning how to invest in stocks. And the investment mindset has actually been the biggest shift to where I am today, because what happened was I was doing all these things, learning how to create all these different streams of income, but I had all this debt that was just sitting here and it wasn't moving fast enough. And like Shanda said, it was actually, I want to say, just in January, the beginning of this year, my husband and I looked at each other and said, what are we doing? Life's too short. We want all these things in life, all these desires. We're doing all the right things, but we're still just not getting ahead. And the biggest shift in my mindset was letting go of those beliefs that society has pressed upon us of go to school, get a good job, get a home, get a house, get a car, like all these things. And the one thing that was holding us back was the one thing I always thought I needed was the foundation of a home. And with us saying, okay, you know what, let's pull the plug, let's sell this house. Literally in 107 days from the time we said, let's sell the house, we moved out and we are now debt free. So it was just, the opportunities are right in front of your face. You just have to be willing to be open your mind and your heart to it. Change is difficult, especially for me. I think everyone's difficult for everyone, but this change has opened the floodgates into so much more opportunity. And when it comes to return on investment, I mean, throughout all these years, and especially through the pandemic, I put so much of the income that I was having into personal development, and it has been a lifesaver because the community has taught me that you don't have to do things alone. You can learn all these different skills. all this opportunity is in front of you if you're just willing to say yes and to be patient with yourself, to learn all these new skills and actually apply it. And what kept me going is that seeing everyone else's successes in the group and seeing that it can be done. And when you just keep going and you don't give up and you actually take the leap into something that scares you, it's actually well worth it. And it's just the beginning. And I'm so happy to be part of this community and where it's going to take me now, because being a success coach has actually helped me come out of my comfort zone. So being able to learn all these things and to grow at the same time and be able to show others and empower other women to do the same thing for themselves, it's a win-win, because I grow and then they grow. So it has been totally life-changing, and I'm so grateful to Melanie and Shanda and the entire community of women who are all doing it together. So thank you so much.
You're so welcome. I'm so excited for you. Everything that's about to come, like, there's nothing wrong with owning a house. It's a great idea for people who want to have that. But if what you want is to travel full time and you're only owning a home because someone told you to, then it's that unbecoming. And then choosing and being able to say, what do I want? And having the courage to go after it. And I've been so impressed with how you've made those challenging decisions and how you have really kind of claimed your future. And I'm so grateful you're part of this community. It just wouldn't be the same without you, Christine. I know you and Melanie go way back. And so I'm excited for this next chapter, and I'm excited that you're a part of it. So thank you for being here, and congratulations again on all your success. I can't wait to see you on a beach.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Well, we have one last speak. Let's get some, what number? Let's do 7s for Christine. I love it. That's a financial abundance number. So that'll be good for our newest debt-free member if she's creating an empire. 7s in the chat for Christine. Congratulations again. And now I want to bring up Sherry. So Sherry is a ultra marathon running coach. She's a crazy person is what she is. She's like another level of crazy. She runs like 100 kilometers and runs like for 12 hours straight. And she does all the crazy things. And that I'm here for it. I'm not going to do it tomorrow, but I love that you create this life and this sense of self-expression and this sense of adventure that is uniquely a part of your heart. And one of the things that I thought was really special was how you looked ahead at your life, your dream life. And there was some uncertainty there. Like, what do I want? What do I want? What do I really want? And you, like me, I remember having the same conversation with myself. And I think I shared this with you, where I was looking into my future. I was like, I don't know what I want. I don't know what's going to be there. I don't know what it looks like. Like, what? Someone said, where are you going to be in 10, 20 years? I couldn't give you it. But the only thing that I knew was my next step. I was like, this next step feels right. This next step feels right. And you and I share that part of our journey. It was actually Grace Johnson. She's a team member of ours, or a community member of ours. And she said, Chanda, thank you for holding the vision. I was like, I didn't hold the vision. I just knew the next best move, the next best move. And so your next best move was becoming a success coach and being here with She's Creating an Empire, taking that framework to your runners, to the people who get into the pain cave during their marathons, and helping them really create impact, and, watching you become resourceful and live in faith and love and joy and playfulness has been so inspiring to me. And so I just want them to hear, like, before She's Creating an Empire, where were you in terms of your coaching, in terms of your life, business, hopes for the future? And then now what have you received from us? And then also, why success coaching?
Well, thank you, Shanda. One thing that I really got from you, and I really appreciate you for, is that you can be fun-loving, goofy, and be successful. You don't have to choose. And that's one thing that really got from me. And so a little bit back in time, I remembered something I've been in personal development since about 1994. So this isn't my first rodeo, but I kept getting pieces here and there and here and there of what I wanted. And I used to be in the medical and medical teaching field, and parent bragging, like, my parents loved it. And I'm going, glad you do, because I sure as the heck don't like being here. So I just went cold turkey, went off, and what am I supposed to be? What am I supposed to do? No idea, but I just knew I had to go there. So one of the things in going there is I tried public speaking, and I remembered that my business card said success coach. That was in the 90s.
No way.
I'm serious. I'm hoping to find that business card. I think I have some locked away somewhere. So, so this has been a journey of who am I? Where's my lunchbox? And what am I supposed to do with my life? And I've been in another insider circle, and I felt like I had all the pieces, but all these rubber duckies were in a pond bobbing somewhere. So when I came to She's Creating an Empire, one thing that happened, all these ducks all congealed together, and they're on the proverbial aircraft carrier, and they're ready to launch, and they're going to fly in formation. And that is so relieving. And it's something that really has given me a lot of relief. And one of the biggest things I learned, and actually since Panama, is I had, to be honest, that my oldest and abusive brother passed away, and I felt him leave. So what that's given me is a realization, and after going to a really good massage therapist too, is that I don't have to fight anymore. I don't have to fight for what I want. It doesn't mean to say I don't go after what I want, but I don't have to fight. And if anybody who knows me knows that I am as stubborn as I come, and I will fight. Like, meet me in a sparring ring, and one person's going to go down, and it's not me. So, but that energy is not there anymore. I get to choose what I want, and I get to go for it. I get to do the steps to get where I want to go. And everyone's mentioning debt-free. I am debt-free, and I have been for a few years, but nobody tells you what to expect and where to go after you're debt-free. Mm-hmm. It's like you've arrived. Now what? Now I'm defining my life after being debt-free. And I'm also defining my life as a runner, not only as an ultramarathon runner that I will be there coaching. And what I coach on is the 90%. When you go in your first ultramarathon, they say, you know what? You've got your training plan, you've trained and stuff like that. Oh, and by the way, it's 90% mental. It'd be great if somebody mentioned that beforehand. And that's what I coach on, is the 90%. I coach on mindset, nutrition, everything else that you need to have as a runner, and also really have as a person. So it's been really awesome. And that's what I want to bring to the world, and in the running world. And there's also something else, that there's an expectancy out there, and I want to shatter this all to heck. And I've already been shattering it somewhat, but I don't want to even blow it all apart, is that this is what happens when you get older. No way. I define what happens to me when I get older. And, I have said for a while that if I'm going to enter your race, you better be making up new age categories for me, because I'm not stopping anytime soon. And there's an icon in my life named is Dag, and he keeps on going. And if Dag can keep on going, so can I. And that's what I want to bring with being a success coach. Second time around, this one's going to be a bit different than before, but bring it to the fact that you get to choose. You get to choose how you want to be in life. You get to choose as a runner. Do you want to run for fitness? Do you want to run for racing? It's not an either or. It's an and situation. And to bring that into the life and also be debt-free and beyond, absolutely, definitely.
That's so good. Debt-free, now what? Isn't it funny? We get back to zero, the same place we were at 18. And then we're like, now what? And that's the thing, is people don't know. And for me, I always thought retirement was like a financial goal, when the truth is that if you get to do what you want, when you want, with who you want, wherever you want, is that not better than most people's retirement, actually? And creating something that you enjoy in any area of your life, and being able to learn about compounding your money, being able to learn about how to help people in the way you want to help, being able to live your life and have the relationship with your body you want. I love it, Sherry, so much. And I could not have let's do this. Let's get what number now? Let's do 11s. I know it's 11111, but like whatever. Let's do 11s for Sherry. Thank you so much. You inspire me. You definitely do not have to be serious all the time to be successful. I'm so grateful for that fact too. And it wouldn't be the same without you. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you.
So Sherry used a visual, and I want to end with this, the visual of flying in formation and getting off the ground. Well, what happened is Melanie's been using this framework for years, and that's why we have so many results in She's Creating an Empire, and we have since the beginning. But now we're actually equipping people to take that framework to the marketplace within their area, whether it's fitness, whether it's running, whether it's, e-commerce, whether it's spiritual leadership, whether it's massage, whether it's in their own coaching business, it doesn't matter. We want you to have the framework that ensures success for your clients, ensures success for your team, ensures success for the people that you lead, your children, right? And so we have created this coaching certification that is going to deliver that to you. There is some business training that is connected to it that helps you launch your coaching business if that's something you like. Maybe it's just the framework you're going to implement in your management style or in your leadership role. The thing that's really cool about this, and I love that analogy of birds flying in formation, because we were actually at the beach the other day and we saw these pelicans flying in formation, and it reminded me of the story. The reason that birds fly in formation is because they can go further. They can go further together because the aerodynamics actually works so that the front bird gets the most tired and they switch out. And that's the power of community. And that's what we're doing here with this success coaching. So we've got a founding members group. This is 20 women who are all going to be becoming success coaches together at the beginning. Now, I believe there's 13 of those that are already filled. So we have 7 left. And the cutoff to become a success coach right now is June 29th. So we have 9 more days. And what that means for you is that if you decide that you want to be a part of this inaugural group, this founding members group, then not only do you get a tiara, because I was like, we need tiaras. I should have one on today. We got tiaras. We got, specialty seating at any She's Creating an Empire events. We do have some extra special coaching that's included. But you get to be a part of this from the beginning. You get to come and take it off the ground with us. You get to be that person that, when we're in stadiums of 10,000 people, you can look back at these 20 and say, you remember when it was the 20 of us. And so as it gets off the ground in terms of a framework we take to market, right? It's the same framework Mel's been using for years. She's been coaching me on it. What it's done for me, it's 8x'd my income and cut my hours in half and helped me lose over 20 pounds in the last 6 months. I promise it works. Okay. This framework works. Okay. So this framework is what we're bringing to the community, to you. And I don't know if you're going to be the right fit for one of those 7. If you want to start this mission with us, if you want to help people the way that these women do, but if you do, I want you to book a strategy call, and I'm going to drop this link in the comments below so that you can actually get onto my calendar. We can have a heart to heart and see if this is the right next thing for you. Isn't it crazy, Carly? I know, it feels so good. But that's what happens, right? So I'm going to do that as soon as this is over. I will make sure that there is a link there. You can book a call and we will help you see if becoming a success coach right now is the right next step before we actually open up the coaching and we start coaching the masses towards success. There it is. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. For Momentum Group members, let's hop over and go. We're going to get some success coaching from Melanie right now. All right, everybody, we will see you later. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next week.